Line. Brought to you by Helene Curtis, makers of Stop F deodorants, flowing cream, spray, and stick, Suave hairdressing, and shampoo plus egg. Now let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, one of the fastest rising young stars in television today, Mr. Ernie Kovacs.
And now I bring on a lady who wears a diamond heart, has a heart of diamonds. I told her I'd make her cry on the introduction. Arlene Francis. Are you crying?
Not a tear in my eye. Thank you. And now I have to introduce a very shy man. He is so shy that it took him 80 days to get around the world, and then he found out that his whole world was centered in a beautiful girl by the name of Elizabeth Taylor. As a result of both of these important things that happened to him, he is giving a party this week for 18,000 people. It is the biggest party since 7-Up, and I may say that he is the only known producer that will fiddle while Madison Square Garden burns, Mr. Mike Todd.
And now, to prove what a real small panel this is, my own publisher, Bennett, Cerf.
Nice to have you here, Mike. Well, those of you who saw the show a little while ago, the Edsel show with Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra and Rosemary Clooney, know there's no substitute for class. And we've got a pretty classy panel moderator here, as you'll see when he comes staggering out of that door. Mr. John Charles Daly.
Me, I'll have to learn to walk on my heels. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What's My Line. And I've some good news for the panel. In fact, after what Bennett said, I think it's good news for him particularly. You can all put your blindfolds on.
Oh, no.
A little bit later on, we'll have our famous mystery guest before the panel, and we'll meet our first challenger in just 1 minute. One word of explanation, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen is up in Canada covering the Queen of England for the Journal American, which is why we have only one of our queens with us tonight, Miss Arlene Francis, and she's ably escorted by her own court, Mr. Kovacs, Mr. Todd, and Mr. Cerf. And your blindfolds are all in place, are they, panel?
Yes, sir.
All right, will our first challenger come in and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, you are blindfolded because there is an area of identification which could cover a multitude of things, either recognition of a name, handwriting, a costuming, or perhaps the person who is here as our challenger and guest, so that we won't tell you any names. We won't even tell you where our guest is from, but I would ask our guest if you're familiar with our scoring system.
You.
In that event, let's let everybody here in the theater and those who are looking in at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, our guest is self-employed, and we'll begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
May I ask if we are blindfolded because one or all of us might on the panel recognize your face and form?
Perhaps.
Are you a person who has been in the newspapers?
Little.
A little in the newspapers?
You.
Are you known for something you do that has to do with the entertainment world?
Among other things.
What was that?
Among other things.
Among other things? You're sort of an all-round girl, are you?
Very.
Since there was a laugh on that, was the laugh because I said all round?
It's possible.
I would not know.
Are you a girl who I could not say has ever been in competition with Mr. Todd, but is this party of Mr. Todd's perhaps going to be the first party that has outnumbered any party you have been champion of?
I wouldn't think so.
She's had 19,000, Mike. Do you have a column widely read in a newspaper in New York and syndicated?
No.
I'm wrong.
Well, actually, I think the question needs repeating, Miss Arlene, because the technicality stands in the way.
Oh, the
Doesn't
technicality.
syndicate.
It's not syndicated. Do you have a column in a newspaper in New York?
Do I have or do I write them?
Do you have and do you write one? Come on now. Mike Todd knows who this is, and I think it's only fair that he should be the one to say the name is the same. I pass to Mr. Todd.
Thank you. I thought I'd never get on. I don't want to be commercial, but were you around the world in 80 days?
Oh, yes.
Is that yes? Was that squeak yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Could your initials be Elsa Maxwell?
Oh! Miss Maxwell, thank you very much for being our guest.
I hope my wife
One
will-
party goer says hello to another.
No squeak could disguise you, you know.
Well, a brilliant big...
Pearl mustard.
Beg pardon, Mr.
All we need is pearl mustard.
All we need... Well, you never can tell. The night is young. Just hang on to your seats. Let's see what we can do with another challenger. Would you come in and sign in, please? Irving Horn. Is that right, sir? And where are you from, Mr. Horn?
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New
Well, that makes you neighbor to most of the folks who are on the panel. Mr. Horn, panel. Panel, Mr. Horn, will you come over here and join me, sir? Do you know how we keep score?
I think so.
All right, then let's let the folks at home and those who've been good enough to come and visit with us in the theater tonight know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Mr. Horn is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Ernie Kovacs.
Thank you, John.
All right, sir.
Mr. Horn, do you deal in products?
Yes.
Notice how I'm starting to sound like a panel member now? I get all that? You deal with a specific product? You have a product.
Yes, I have a product.
Is this something you can fold?
Yes. No.
Something you can fold? No.
7 weeks in a row.
1 down and 9 to go. Miss Francis.
You must be looking for somebody that makes money. Always ask if it can
He's
fold.
sitting next to you.
Mr. Horn, is this a product that one would find in the house?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Would it be found in a specific room in the house?
Not necessarily.
Well, I would say this so that you're not misled. It would depend a good deal on the norms of the household with which you were connected. It is not untoward to consider that it might be kept more in one room than in others. At the same time, it would not be untoward to find it in any room in the house.
Sure.
Depends on the kind of a housekeeper you are, I take it.
Yes.
Is it a product I could hold in my hand, Mr. Horn?
Yes.
Would I ever apply it to my person in any way?
Now, I think we would have to agree that the use of the specific verb apply would not obtain here, and we'll give you a no. That makes it 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Todd.
Is this product something you would eat?
Yes.
Makes it simple. Is it part of a pig?
No.
Like a ham? I don't know what made me think of that. That's Freudian. I don't know. I can't imagine.
You got a no, I believe, Mr.
No.
Todd. I'm sorry. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, if it's not untoward, Mr. Horn, was this food a solid?
A salad?
Solid.
A solid? Oh!
It is a solid. Is it a product that has been tampered with since it was in its natural state? That is, has it been processed in some manner? Does it come in a can or a bottle?
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Kovacs. Kovacs.
18,000 people. Is this something that is purchased daily? You know, I don't mean like, you know, you're flipping over the thing that, you know, you're insane by eating this thing, but I mean, would it something you buy daily, like bread, milk, scotch?
I mean,
you
would
know, like
an
that?
individual buy it every day?
I'm sorry, I asked the question.
Well, I am too, because I think that was the connotation of the question, in which event you get a no. That's 5 down and 5 to go.
Yes.
Yes. Miss Francis?
Mr. Horn, would this be served at a particular course in the dinner or luncheon or breakfast?
No.
It could be served any time.
Right.
That makes it 6 down and
That's
4
right,
to go.
it does.
Todd.
Is it the sort of thing you'd serve at an intimate little party?
Like you're going to have.
Like at Madison Square?
More or less.
I would not say, nevertheless, Mr. Todd, that you would not serve it at a non-intimate little party. However, it certainly could be present at an intimate little party.
Would you be a manufacturer of popcorn?
No.
Popcorn? No. That makes it 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Horn, would this product of yours likely be on the table before people sat down, it seemed, to eat?
Let me have a small conference. It could be, Bennett, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be and is not necessarily on all occasions at the table before you get there.
But it could be on the table as people arrive to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Would it be cold?
Yes.
Yes.
It would. Might it be considered an accessory to the dinner rather than a main course?
Well, using accessory in a very broad sense,
Well,
yes,
if it
you
could be on the table,
you
it
could
would.
describe it as an accessory.
Would this product be obtainable in an ordinary delicatessen store?
Yes.
It would.
Yes.
Is it in the meat category?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Is it any member, and this is a big family, Mr. Horn, is it a member of the bologna family?
Yes.
It is. Well, now, I don't know the names of all bologna. Let's see, there's salami, bratwurst, knockwurst, frankfurters. Have I mentioned the right name?
Yes.
Mike, which one did you pick?
Naturally, hot dogs.
Now, I'm going to try salami.
Salami is right. That's very good, then. Now you have the product. Now tell me what it is that Mr. Horn does with salami.
Well, he doesn't do the dance of the 7 veils in salami. But,
Bennett.
do you manufacture salami?
Well, I would not give you a no, since he pays a part as a salaried individual in the manufacture, but what does he do specifically?
Has he got anything to do with the skin that goes around the salami?
Yes.
Well, then you're a salami stuffer.
No. No. That's 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Kovacs.
You don't measure the salami, do you?
No. That's 9 down and 1 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you sell salami?
No. That's 10 down and no more to go. Mr. Horn ties the knots in the air.
Oh, no.
That's the smallest salami I've seen in a long time, Ernie, I must say.
We just traded cigars, John.
Oh, Trader, I thought it
Yes,
was
we
salami you were playing.
May I mention to the lady who has been writing me with a great deal of regularity, saying, how can I possibly keep smoking this cigar on the show? I haven't lighted this cigar in 2 months, dear.
Ernie, I
And
can't
we'll meet
understand.
tonight's mystery guest in just... Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which I must ask my friends on the panel to blindfold themselves. And all panelists are blindfolding themselves except Miss Francis.
I'm sorry, John, I can't blindfold myself because the mystery guest's manager or friend called my house and said, "Can you tell me where so-and-so has to be tonight?"
That's too
I
bad.
know
All
who
right.
it is. I have to disqualify myself from this round, which kills me.
Oh, that's too bad. Miss Arlene disqualifies herself. However, panel, you're all familiar with what's coming up, so let's ask our mystery challenger to come in and sign in, please.
What did you tell me that?
All right, 3 members of the panel, properly masked. You're aware that we use a different form of questioning with our mystery celebrity. You will ask one question at a time in turn, moving clockwise, and let's begin with Mr. Todd.
Did you go around the world in 80 days?
Please, I would like that repetition there, please.
What was that? I didn't hear you good.
The question to be repeated, please.
Did you go around the world in 80 days, or were you in around the world in 80 days?
9.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Wait, what was the answer?
9. That's just
No,
showing
9
that
days.
you means no. That's right.
Where do they get so
If
many
he'd said 8,
celebrities?
it would have been yes.
What could be on 5, 3 of them, 6, 7, or 7? I went like that. I don't know. What-
Jawohl, jawohl, ja. Mr. Cerf?
I'm taking it for granted that you're in show business. Have you ever been in the movies?
Yeah.
Mr. Kovacs?
Pardon me, was that another 9?
That was a ja.
Yeah, I will say.
That is when you
Ja.
go boating, you say it's ja, you
Yeah.
know?
You're not the late John Gutenberg, are you?
How should I speaking?
I didn't hear, I'm sorry, I didn't hear
How
that.
should I speaking?
Ich weiß nicht, was Sie sagen, das spricht ein... Ich habe
Was
ja...
willst du haben?
Du haben Sie eine...
Enough of that, Mr. Kovacs. That's enough in English. Use it.
There. Are you in television?
I was been on television.
You must been on
I
it?
was been on
Must been.
television.
You're obviously not a Dutch comic. Would you consider yourself a juvenile?
Definitely 9.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
I didn't get that.
That was a definitely 9.
Have you ever graced the New York Legitimate Theater?
I have been on the stage.
Mr. Kovacs?
How's everybody at your place, John, at home? That's a time killer, see, while I'm thinking. Are you at present in something that is being currently shown in New York, either in any medium at the moment?
9.
That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Todd.
If it were a cops and robbers show, what would you be? The cops or the robbers?
That can't be answered
Oh, I
yes
say,
or
wait,
no.
wait a minute. If it was a cops and robbers show, would you be the robber?
I would be the policeman.
That's
yeah,
what I
That makes it 12 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Can I ask the other question?
May I ask this question? If Ernie Kovacs had asked that question, are you currently appearing in a show yesterday instead of today, would the answer have been different?
Yes, I have to admit already.
All right, Mr. Kovacs?
Where was I yesterday? What
You have to figure out...
Yesterday. Today is Sunday, isn't it? Saturday. This was on television yesterday?
9 performances.
9. That makes it 5 down and
No.
5 to go, Mr. Todd.
You're obviously not Dutch. Would you consider yourself, if you were classifying, would you say you would come under the, say like the, not Dutch, would you consider yourself like an Irish actor or Irish, I don't mean Irish players, but Irish type actor?
It's a very ambiguous interrogation here. I don't know how to
Isn't it? I
answer
don't
this
blame you.
here.
What does he mean?
Yeah,
Jawohl.
Would you consider yourself, if you were casting for, you said you'd be would you consider yourself an Irish cop, we'll say, for casting? If I made like a producer and wanted to cast somebody for an Irish cop, would that be you?
Probably and probably no.
Mr. Cerf?
Was that?
That's a yes and no. It would
It's
depend
yes
on...
and no?
It would be a subjective decision, Mr. Todd. It's not
I know what
untoward to
subjective
consider that he
means.
might
I
be.
know who he was, probably.
Mr. Cerf?
Would Toots Shaw call you Pat O'Brien the
He
crumb?
sure would. As a matter of fact, Toots Shaw would call him more than Pat O'Brien. He'd call him that wonderful Pat O'Brien. That wonderful Pat O'Brien he is.
I thought Bennett got me because he got me before.
Yes, he did. We caught up with you. It took a little time, though. We got Mr. Kovacs a little bit ruined.
Anyway, we're all very sorry that you're not going to be on the Broadway scene longer, Mr. O'Brien.
Well, you're very wonderful, darling, to say that, and I hope that I'll be back. I want to
Come
return.
back, yes.
If Broadway's got any sense, you'll be back in soon. Pat, thanks very much for being our guest. Wonderful.
You crossed me up, and I said,
Hello, darling. How are you?
Tell me at the club you're going to be.
All right, panel, we have about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Let's see what you can do quickly with another challenge. Will you come in and sign in, please? George T. Purvis. Junior. Where are you from?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. The panel. Mr. Purvis, will you come and join me? Do you know how we keep score?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let's let everybody home, those here, there, and everywhere except the panel, know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, you have approximately 2 minutes. I will tell you that Mr. Purvis is self-employed, and let's begin the questioning with Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Purvis, Indianapolis, the home of the American Legion. Have you got anything whatever to do with the American Legion?
No, sir. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Kovacs.
I don't want to sound like a nag, Mr. Purvis, but do you have a product? Do you deal with a product?
Yes.
Can you fold it?
Yes, you can fold it.
You can fold it.
All right, Mr. Kovacs, there you are.
You know, I never worked out the follow-up question to that, John.
Oh, Ernie, I thought you had it.
Oh, no, I've just been hoping that we could
But it-
fold one of these things.
But it folds.
It
Now,
folds. All
What
right,
is it?
All right.
Money.
Is this something that before you fold it, you can put on pajamas and lie in it?
You mean put pajamas on it?
No, on yourself.
Oh,
On yourself.
yeah.
Down, boy.
This is ridiculous because this has never happened. I might be on the trail of something big here. Is this some form of a bed?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm so nervous. I've never done this. I was hoping it was tying the other end of the salami or something like that. Oh, I'm sweating. Is this a folding bed?
Yes.
Oh, I can cry.
Ernie, what does Mr. Purvis have to do with folding beds?
What do you have to do with folding beds? I mean, that's his own business, John. I don't think that...
All right, well, I'll tell you. Mr. Purvis makes them. We'll flip all the cards because you just ran out of time. He makes them. Called Scope Incorporated. Thank you, Mr. Purvis. I'm sorry it didn't take long. But we had lots of time. Nice to have you. Well, as I think you all know, the Queen of England, that is, or Great Britain, is going to leave Canada in midweek and come into the United States, so we can expect that Miss Dorothy will be with us again next week. It's been nice to have you with us, Mr. Todd, and hope you enjoyed your visit. Until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Mr. Kovacs.
Good night, John.
You're lighting
I'm
a cigar.
flushed with victory. I say good night to a whole question by myself. I've never... Arlene, good night, my dear.
Don't you like that next week? Good night. Good night, Dorothy in Canada, and my husband, wherever you are. And good night, Mike Todd. Nice to have had you with us.
Nice
you
to be here.
Thursday.
A lot of fun. I notice I didn't hog the... please notice, if Liz is listening, I didn't hog the microphone or anything.
Good night to my wife. Good night to Mike's wife. Good night to you, John.
Well, thank you. That leaves me with nobody to say good night to except all of you who've been nice enough to stay with us. Thanks for being with What's My Line?
If you'd like to be a contestant, send a picture with your teeth and your occupation to What's My Line? CBS Television, 485 Madison Avenue, New York, 22, New York. Transportation for contestants on What's My Line is arranged by American Airlines. What's My Line is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.